Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to Hearts of Iron number 4, which we're currently playing, of course, as the Central American Empire. Let's load the game from where we left off. Right, so that took a second to load. As you might have remembered from the last episodes, we were basically, we'd invited Mexico, or the Synarchist Mexico, to join our faction, which led to a conflict between Mexico and the United States. Now what you will now see here is there's a fair number of American or United States units along the border that have now been reinforced by British or UK units. And they've actually taken a large chunk of Mexico. So as you can see, the northern part of Mexico has been taken. Now, at the moment it's on a relatively narrow, or at least narrower, part of Mexico, which actually leaves Mexico with a relatively defensible section here, because we'll actually look at the terrain here. Let's see where can I find the proper terrain map. Probably, let's say this one. So you see mountainous here, there is here. What do we got here exactly? This is more, is it still mountainous? Probably would still call it mountainous. Forest, yeah, so it's all defensible terrain, yeah, mountains, and you'll get all these basic defensive bonuses because of it, of course, with the jungle here as well. Now, would it made it easier if we had a river? Yes, of course it would have been easier if we had a river. So there is actually a river here, so it might have been actually easier if we defended these two provinces as opposed to these two here. But yeah, I basically have withdrawn my own troops from there, and I'm actually holding my own lines down here. Alright, we can actually implement some decisions if we wanted to. I'm not going to. We do have a war support of 40% now. So yeah, it has risen somewhat, but yeah, it has of course an impact upon the entire situation here. Ooh, they're retreating. That is interesting. So if they are retreating, does that? Yeah, the Americans have taken up that particular corner there. And are they being pushed back? It looks to some extent like it. Let's have a look. Battlefield support we've completed here. Naval mission efficiency, strategic bombing, ultimately intercept detection. Now I'm kind of inclined not to go down that route. Can I invest more time and effort into here? I'm already doing that, so that's perfect. Naval doctrine is already getting a focus in there, so again, no need for me to do anything in there, I think. I haven't actually invested anything in tanks, as you can see. I might actually want to put a bit of effort into some of the artillery, because some of my units do have artillery. It's not many of them, but some of them do. And yeah, they might actually benefit from a bit of an increase, of course, in that investment. Should I help them out there? Should I keep a little bit of a mobile force to hand? Maybe. Ooh, that doesn't look too well, does it? Right, let's just send them to that province here, the jungle there. Right, so those units are moving up quite nicely. It looks like the Americans are sending more tanks and so forth into that breach. The Western Front seems to be relatively stable. But yeah, if we can basically get some troops into this section here to help defend this territory, that looks to be quite useful as such. I would even go so far as to basically try to basically help retake that province there. Have we got more? Have I only got 4 Marines? That is a bit of a pity. I kind of had hoped I had more Marines. Am I training more Marines? I probably should be training more, shouldn't I? Can I set them to be done in Guatemala? Let's set that to 3. 2. 1. Oh. Well, let's set it to, okay, a lesser number, but okay. This number here seems to be on the increase, so we can retake that particular province there, which is good. Our troops are suffering attrition because of the jungle, is that it? It seems to be jungle related, yeah. Heat acclimatization is pretty good, I would say. Did we lose a province there? No, we didn't. That's the way that the line had been already earlier. Okay, so our troops have positioned themselves here. They've got a bit of an issue of supply, it looks like. So supply status stands at 83%. It is increasing though. We're still seeing attrition, but it's now only 0.3, 0.4%. Do I want to reduce that? I can, of course, reduce that. The question is, do I want to basically use these troops to push the Americans back even further? I don't think that's necessary per se. Let's just have a brief look at what's happening in the airspace over here. Air supremacy, interception is relatively low success rates. As you can see, I can actually deploy a new unit here. I'm going to basically put these jet fighters here. I'm going to tell them to basically work on air supremacy and interception here. That should of course help us out. I'm pretty sure that the Americans will already have jet fighters, but yeah, the more jet fighters we can actually get in the air, the better. Those look like bombers of some sort, and these are jet bombers? Are they? I'm not sure. Where are they flying to? They should most definitely be intercepted. They should most definitely be intercepted, but okay. I guess at present they are not intercepted yet. So these guys now are stable. Okay, so we basically see that their experience level is okay. So no issues there. In terms of what we basically got here, we are working on technology sharing. That is good, of course. But there are a few focuses I can still basically get some effort out of. Let's just check if there's any one of those that are beneficial to me, really. Large navy, bomber focus, cruiser effort, destroyers. So these are mutually exclusive, so I can't go down that, but I can maybe do something about this one here, destroyer effort. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as is, I guess. Let's look at what actually happens in Europe. So Free France is okay. Now we of course got a nice Vichy France section here. There seems to be some pressure there. Vichy France is pushing back the British here, and they actually have taken out the naval port here, or naval base, which actually means, of course, that they will no longer be able to get all the benefits of the naval base. All right, let's research the mountain infantry, the last entry there. So yeah, that section is being pushed back, which is great. Here we also see that Belgium is being pushed back in, at least by the Italians, I would assume that it is. The Germans had started some invasions of the United Kingdom in the last episode, but they didn't seem to have too much luck with that. Greater Hungary is over here. Kingdom of Romania, which is pretty decent size as well, and they've got a big city here which is called Arad, which actually has got a claim on there, at least by Greater Hungary, but also by the Romanians. But it's by Legionnaire Romania. Okay, interesting. State owner. How comes that is a shared state owner? Is there some kind of conflict there? Anyway, Bulgaria was taken, as you can see. Turkey is, as far as I'm aware, still entirely independent. They're relatively yeah, Fascist in where they stand. Ah, we got a new unit available. I'm going to basically add that to this mix here. And this unit I'm going to send all the way over to here. Now let's actually do something about that research. Let's go for the next one again. Again, the same general. Similar type of unit. We're again sending that to the front line here. Now what is actually the composition of a mountain unit? As you can see, we have got a, yeah, of course, a field hospital. We got an engineering company. And for the rest, it's purely mountaineers, as you will see. So, yeah, that should, of course, help in the defense, particularly of those mountainous provinces. Mexicans are trying to push the Americans back, with the help, of course, of the Peruvians. But I don't think that is going to be too successful. Alright. Ooh, what do we got here? This is new. Venezuela wants to send 15 divisions as expeditionary forces to help us out. Really? Oh, interesting. Same with Peru. Whoa, hold on. Are they not part of my faction? I was under the impression that they were, so they are in the same faction with... Alright, so there's a faction here where we got, of course, Peru and Venezuela are the same faction. So despite being in the same faction... Interesting. Okay. Oh, that is most interesting. So they've given a large chunk of their own units to be under my control. Oh, okay, I didn't really expect that, but let's assign them into a brand new army. I don't have a general for them yet. I've got 5 generals, as you can see. Let's get a new one recruited. Benito Comoro. Okay. Not sure. Why are they putting all of those under my command? I'm not sure. I'm a little bit puzzled by that. Now, what have we got here? Of course, we got a large number of units here. As you can see, there are also, of course, these guys here. But I don't seem to be too happy with us. The Brazilians, they haven't really got that big an army, I would say. So we look at the details here. They've got 10 divisions only. Wow, that is minute. Okay. So do I need to justify a war? I don't think I do need to justify it really, but yeah, we can take it relatively easily. So if I were to try to take chunks of here, what would that lead to? Or that one can be 25 units in total. These are regular, those are trained, so there's different strengths here as well. Yeah, okay, let's take these here, and let's also assign these there. That leaves me with one more here I can take here. And that pretty much is the limit for what I can do, it looks like. Now, if I basically look at what we got here, and actually look at this, this guy is there, this guy is defending, that's, ooh, okay. I hadn't anticipated that, really. 6 of their units are there, wow. Okay, let's set that these guys are part of... Let's make them part of this one here. Alright, perfect. Again, part of the northern border, and we're basically going to send them into there as well. Again, more units are coming into the mix here. I kind of basically anticipated a slightly stronger automated response here, but yeah, it doesn't seem to have happened here, which is a bit of a pity, but we can deal with that. Okay, so they've taken that naval base here in the Yucatan. We're doing relatively okay here in terms of the defense. If we basically can push them back further, that of course will strengthen our resolve here as well. They are underneath a 4-star general, and they've got quite a bit of combat power there that they've committed, it looks like. That's fine, I would say. Northern border, second thrust. Alright, hold on. I don't want to do anything really. These guys are defending this quite nicely. Now, if I actually add further garrison areas to here. Now, if I basically supplement these forces here, with of course by adding these extra troops into there, which should of course make that easier. Let's add these 4 into there as well. So yeah, that's all part of that one unit now. And this here can now be supplemented again with those other units that we got down here as well. Oh, they're not my own. Just the flag looks somewhat similar. At least from a distance, most definitely that looks very similar. But yeah, it may be slightly different tint of blue it is, but for the rest it looks amazingly similar, I would say. There was a convoy sunk here. Interesting. Why would we have convoys that were being sunk? Well, okay, never mind. Anyways, this unit here can be assigned to there. I think that's it. Alright, let's have a look what's going on here on this battlefront here now. Lots more troops being committed here. I would say they're nicely contained there, but that's just my view of things. They are most definitely being attacked from multiple different angles, so that's good. Now, some of our units are relatively low in terms of the organization, as you can see. But they do have multiple units there. The Spanish have cancelled that land lease. That is a bit of a pity, but okay, there's nothing to be done about that. Of course, in this instance, it's the British that are on the wrong land here, I would say. And again, more British troops are trying to invade here. Interesting. Okay, so these second thrust units here. Okay, perfect. So the British are trying to basically flex their naval muscles, I probably want to say. Interesting here. Is that the Japanese? It looks like it. We got naval results here. We took out some of their convoys. More. Ooh, we lost a submarine here. That, of course, is not the intention, but yeah, it does occasionally happen. Right, what else have we got? Huh. Alright, thus far it's they're losing Air Force units. Right. Any more? Look at that though. If I look at my manpower available, that is really, really low now. But this looks to be going in our favor. 91%. What's happening down here? The British were repulsed. Good. There's not much left of them there. They'll be out there in not too long from now. These guys here are, of course, without orders, which, as far as I'm concerned, is fine. In his service to the Central American Empire, it seems that General Tortiro has pushed himself too far as a result of the bad climate in his operational area. The general has fallen ill. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. At least he hasn't died, which is nice to see. Well, thanks again for the experience you actually had us gain here. Because, of course, we did gain experience by, of course, fighting them. But look at the manpower here. We lost, I would say, 30,000 troops there. Easily. Easily. Colombia was our biggest casualty causer originally, and that has now been changed, unfortunately, to... Yeah, well, it's still Colombia, but Britain is close in second place now. Oh well, it's only 600,000, no, 600 people difference. But still, it is actually losses that we basically have suffered here. Right, it looks like I've got more units who actually might be able to benefit from an addition of a hospital. So let's add field hospitals to all of these, I think. Cool. Nice to be able to influence that model. Right, what can we do? Can we basically change our mobilization level? No, we can only downgrade it. So that's not really what I want. I don't want to basically go beyond this extensive conscription. If I go any higher, I will lose productivity. So again, that's not a good point. I could, of course, add additional bits here for conversions or construction of various different bits. Again, not what I'm looking for. I'm not really doing much in terms of the other research types anymore anyways. Paradox I'm not doing motorized. Again, stuff that I'm not reusing at all. Alright. Could I do anything here? Army experience gain? Yeah, I could do that. Naval experience gain? Yeah, again, something that's possible. But air experience is... Yeah, let's go for the air one. Look at that, planes were shot down. Research completed. Alright, so that's basically completed that branch there. Let's go for this mechanized branch. Now, of course, I do have insufficient resources of various different types. I am building military factories, as you can see. Have I still got any troops in the Galapagos Islands? I do. British Mexico might benefit from this. Okay. It's even dropped even further, but that's probably all to do with attrition, I think, now. Purely attrition. Yeah, these numbers here are not changing as such. Would really like to be able to, of course, say yes. Well, actually, it's not only attrition, it's also the fact that I basically have now set all of my units to have, of course, those field hospitals, which, of course, will reduce attrition. Okay. That's a good thing. Now, this army here is relatively small. Cool. Nice bit of research done. Let's get the next one lined up. Outdated equipment in production. Let's go for the next level there. Looks like that might be beneficial. Look at that, we're basically producing 2.22 fighters a day. In terms of jet fighters, we're producing far, far less. Anyways, I think for today... Yeah, I think for today we've done quite decently here. We're helping, of course, maintain relatively status quo position here in Mexico. We're able to repulse some of the invasion attempts that we basically have seen here. Alright, so there is a bit of combat going on there with American submarines. Look at that. Huh. Anyways, guys, hopefully you saw that this is somewhat beneficial to you. At least I found it interesting to see this kind of conflict developing here. Anyways, hopefully I'll be able to see you in the next episode. In the meantime, thanks again for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.